Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you to Dr. Zairi for giving us an opportunity to present our group assignment. My name is Qurratu Aini binti Muhammad. My number matric is 265386.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuhanisa binti Abduh. My matric number 265442.
My name is Nurul Nazira binti Abduh Ghani and my matric number is 267755.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aina Syafika binti Masri and my matric number 267833.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Anissa Hajar binti Saidin. My matric number 269432.
Islamic economics is a term used to refer to Islamic commercial jurisprudence, entails the rules of transacting finance or other economic activity in a Sharia-compliant manner, which is a manner conforming to Quran and Sunnah. Islamic jurisprudence has traditionally dealt with determining what is required, prohibited, encouraged, discouraged, or just permissible according to Quran and Sunnah. This applied to issues like property, money, employment, taxes, loans, along with everything else. Many scholars trace the history of economic thought through the Muslim world. Islamic economists have put their effort to define Islamic economics as a body of knowledge. The definition is required to clarify the nature, subject matter, approach and scope of Islamic economics as a discipline. Various definitions of Islamic economics have been proposed by the scholars reflecting their background and point of view in conceiving Islamic economics. There are various definitions of Islamic economics proposed by Islamic economists, but a common theme among these scholars was the praise of economic activity and even self-interested accumulation of wealth. The differences are based on the scholars' point of view and perspective in their conception of Islamic economics and their scientific reasoning and justifications for the definitions proposed. For our group, we choose Muhammad Abduh as our scholar. Muhammad Abduh was an Egyptian writer, religious scholar, Islamic jurist, and liberal reformer. He is regarded as one of the key founding figures of Islamic modernism. He also wrote, among other things, treatise on the oneness of God and a commentary on the Quran. Muhammad Abduh, born in 1849, is an Egyptian intellectual regarded as the architect of Islamic modernism and one of the most prominent Islamic reformers of the 19th and 20th centuries. He was born into a well-to-do family in a village of the Nile Delta. At the age of 13, he went to study at the Ahmadi Mosque in Tanta, which was one of the largest educational institutions in Egypt. Then, he continued his education at Al-Azhar, the renowned university in Cairo, where he studied logic, philosophy, and Sufism. For a time, he came under the influence of the pan-Islamic reformer Jamal al-Din al-Afghani and became involved in the Urabi revolt against the British core. Although it was naturally banned in Islamic countries under British occupation, its 18 issues were smuggled in and widely followed by Muslim intellectuals. The two men also established an association under the same name, working for Muslim unity and social reform. In the course of these activities, Abduh traveled to Britain and Tunis and reportedly entered Egypt in disguise. During his career, Abduh held a number of important positions. In 1880, he became the editor of Al-Wafa'i al-Misriyah, the official gazette. In 1889, he was appointed judge, and 10 years later, he became the Mufti of Egypt, the highest authority on the interpretation of Muslim law. As Mufti, he initiated reform of the religious courts and the administration of awqaf, religious endowments. Abduh's writings include Risalah al-Waridat, Risalah al-Tawhid, and the interpretation of Quran known as Tafsir al-Manar.
Today, I will explain about the contribution of Muhammad Abduh. Muhammad Abduh was a such graduate of Al-Azhar. He worked and talked about the various economic issues faced by the Egyptian society in the 19th century. In the 19th century, the government schools and those were established by the British had empowering bureaucrats who could serve as an instrument. This type of education was limited to the children at an elite class. So, Muhammad Abduh was advocated that schooling for all, and in particular to the middle and the lower class, such as trader, manufacturer, minor workers, and so on. So here, they can do their jobs better and more efficiently. Muhammad Abduh emphasized that he wanted to remove the misconception that education is only served for the government. And the result is the production of educated people are majority from the poor people. That means the contribution of Muhammad Abduh was successful can make all the people be a successful human. Next, the conservative of learning process inspire him to reform and transform the all curriculums which student is read the text, comments or comprehension. The teaching class, the syllabus and the learning process prepare the content and progress with Western education. And last, he start to embrace to reform initiative and transforming the whole structure of curricular, fee, subject and teaching components.
Today, I will discuss about impact COVID-19 to the educational and economy. First, COVID-19 will impact the industrial sector. Is it not possible to carry on exporting and importing goods to other countries as there is no material to export? According to analysis, the Malaysian economy is expected to grow at a slower pace of 4.0% to 2.5% for this year, with the potential for a contraction in growth or technical recession in first half. Secondly, tourism industry premise will be closed, such as hotel. This is because total loss in tourism industry from January to February 2020 is Rm 3.37 billion. Third, the Prime Minister closed all relevant educational sectors. For example, school, government, school including daily school, private school and university. And the government are taking online learning initiative in learning season. Using the internet site will enable rural students to access the internet. And the last one is learning season at home have not using two-way educational process for students, which is the only make work in-house and sent through online learning, and there is no question between students and teachers about the work done by the student. That's all from me. Thank you.
To encounter with the conservative system of learning inspired Muhammad Abduh to undertake reform and embark on transforming the obsolete curricula where the students were to read text and their commentary without critical analysis and comprehension. He introduced groundbreaking initiatives to systemize the teaching class, syllabus and method of learning to ready to compete and advance advanced with scientific style of the Western education. Besides, according to Muhammad Abduh, a teacher role was to direct men towards study. He believed that Islam reproved the salvation imitation of tradition. The reason is the process of explanation is affected by the perspective of the commentator. He or she will therefore focus on passage in the Quran that appear relevant to him or her. Endowed by his creator will, man was to be guided by knowledge. The role of teacher was to facilitate the attainment of knowledge. According to Muhammad Abduh, Islam does not endorse and encourage learning adherent to tradition, but has within itself mechanism for initiating reform when necessary. To implement the issue with the ideal economic prosperity linked to the growth in the productivity of labor, education affect productivity in two critical ways. First, education support innovative that create new technology. Second, education improve worker skills, which is allow them not only to use new technology but also to use existing technology more effectively. Education play a vital role in the development of technology and innovation. Policymakers should order the priority, which is work first on developing, attracting and retaining an educated labor force for the community. Besides, government must encourage and support research and development in the private sector and the academic community. Next, enhancing the skill plus productivity of individuals in society also able to meet the demand of more globalized economy. Economic development and economic productivity growth around the world will not stand still. Thus, we must adapt and enhance the skill and productivity of our workforce to meet this new and challenging environment. Furthermore, because education has such positive and lasting impact economy, it is important to ensure that educational are up to the task. To do so, educational system must focus more attention on developing student decision-making and problem-solving skill, along with analytical abilities and communication skills. It seems clear that educational system need to be respond to the challenging economy. Lastly, educational system took on the responsibility of broadening skill of students to meet the needs of a growing economy. We need to be forward-looking to adapt our educational system to the evolving need of the economy and our changing society. We must work to provide graduates with the education needed to meet the realities of today and tomorrow marketplace. Those efforts will require the collaboration of the policymaker and government. That's all for me. Thank you.
Sheikh Muhammad Abduh's contribution to modernity had a forceful burn in restoring conventional religious principle of rationalism. Significant reform efforts have certainly been pursued, and he made important contribution to the creation of modern Islamic world model. In this discussion, Movement Control Order (MCO) are implemented during COVID-19 and also impact to the economy of Malaysia, and Muhammad Abduh's idea can be used to overcome the problem and improve the issue as mentioned in implementation section. Finally, there are many Islamic economic scholars that we can refer to relate the problem with their thought. Different scholar, we will get different scholar point of view and perspective in their conception of Islamic economic and their scientific reasoning and justification for the definition proposed.